Hello everyone. With the recent news of Firefox doing us not so solid, figured I'd talk about a few alternatives that you could use. A good number of these are based on Firefox or forks from it that kind of forked off earlier on. And I know people have talked about other browsers, but you know what? These are some more new user-friendly ones, and a few of these being forks of Firefox, and then a couple really strange lightweight ones. So the first one here is Pale Moon. It's kind of like very basic, like old Firefox UI. Very themable. You can find some pretty simple themes for it. It even supports the legacy plugins. So if we go and pick up bookmarks, let's see, where was it? Go to the Pale Moon site. You can see that they've got a whole add-ons and extensions section, so you can go through there. We can go into themes, and just like that, it's got all those cool classic Firefox themes that we used to love back in the day. It's even got that early Chrome theme to it as well. And then it also has Persona support as well. So you can have that and everything else with it. If we go and look in extensions, of course, if we go into privacy and whatnot, it'll come up with that. And it's got uBlock Origin that you can set up. I've got that installed already. So we could go to somewhere like YouTube and all our ads are going to be blocked right away. You don't have to think about it. It's just there. And it doesn't have the extra other stuff in it. Another plus with Pale Moon is that it's actually pretty light. There are a couple things that I use it for, but other than that, they try and keep up on some of the web standards and all, and whatnot. There are a couple things that might be broken here and there, but other than that, it does pretty well. So the next one is another one kind of in the same line as Pale Moon. It's called Basilisk. So this is kind of the default start screen that you get. And again, it does support the legacy plugins. So just like in Pale Moon, we can go to YouTube. I've imported all of my Chromium history into it, I believe. So that's why you've got all these nice start screen stuff. So let's see. We add it. Yes, we can get the uBlock Origin thing. We can add it here. So it's kind of got that Soul setup. So you can customize it just like the iteration of Firefox before the current one that we're on. So you can see that it's blocking 5 of those with uBlock Origin, which I've already had installed. We can go in and look at that. So just like Pale Moon, it's kind of one of those like legacy UI, but they're still like keeping up to date on it. And one nice thing with both Pale Moon and Basilisk is you can actually register to your RSS feeds with it. So I've set up like this little RSS thing. So if we like even go and straight in and open it up, we can read a lot of the RSS feeds in here. So I can open up a new tab as well. We can go to other bookmarks. And we can open up. My blog feed is kind of broken. I'm still kind of working on updating that all, so yeah. We'll still use Luke Smith's. There were some broken things that I noticed, and so I'm working on fixing all of that. But if we go, like, to example, for his PeerTube 3, we can even pull up individual links that are linked up. So you can see we can read full things here or go directly to places as well. Let's see. Yeah, see. Um, so yeah, that's Basilisk. Pale Moon and Basilisk both do that. So depending on the theme that you want, you can do that. Basilisk has various theming support as well. So if that's what you want to do, Basilisk is there for you. So this one is basically a pre-configured Firefox. It basically kind of dials everything back to almost like IceCat standards, but it adds in a bunch of like privacy features as well. This one's called librewolf, so if we go into the preferences, we can see that uBlock Origin does come pre-installed with it. It does have everything like privacy-wise default turned on. And as far as I can tell, it basically always wipes your session after you close it and re-enable it. It's got somewhat sensible defaults turned on. Yeah, it doesn't have HTTPS only mode always turned on. So, I think that's the default one that's turned on. I can't remember. But if we go into extensions, there it is. So uBlock Origin installed. It's got an update for it. We can update it. But yeah, it's kind of got some of the same theming like Firefox does. But other than that, it's basically got like those features that'll wipe everything as you go in and out of it, and it kind of keeps out some of the Firefox telemetry stuff that you may be worried about. So then these next few depart from kind of the Firefox like forking and everything. So this next one is called Otter Browser. So if we go, this is kind of the start page that you get. And it's built on Qt, but it's trying to replicate the classic Opera look to it. I'm not sure how you would install extensions or whatnot into it, or if you can. But you've got a number of feature things in here in the settings that you can mess around with. Can mess with like the default web view stuff, the fonts and everything. Got various privacy settings and some ad block there in the privacy. Then it's got, oh, okay, here we go. So yeah, you can go through here and let's hit apply. Yes, okay. Do we get, no. Oh, nice. That broke it. But anyway, it is based on Qt Web Engine, so basically it's a Chromium base. So I'm not sure how extensions will work with it. So I'd have to play around with it if I could do that sensibly. It seems to like support, well, since it's based on Qt Web Engine, then it would work with a lot of the Chromium stuff. So extensions is kind of a questionable thing, kind of like Qt Browser at the moment. So there are ways that you can install user scripts that are JavaScript. This one's NetSurf. It's kind of one of those like Netscape, post-Netscape ones. It's a very, very classic browser. So I'd imagine it's very light. So we can go to, let's go to, so it seems to work pretty well. Search box down there works pretty well. Let's try something that, so JavaScript is not enabled by default. It has the JavaScript stuff. Oh. Maybe it's gonna work. I don't think it will. So this one is probably not one you're gonna use for like your general web browsing. But if you're doing something simple like, for example, like simple HTML sites, then it's gonna be no problem. So we can go to, yeah, it is not. So yeah, of course, this is one of those legacy browsers that'll render stuff classic like it's supposed to. I'll have to play around with it a little bit more. Then finally, this one's called Dillo. It's been included in some very, very lightweight distros. And does pretty well at what it does. Last time it was updated was like, what was it? 2005-ish, I think. So we can see it's pretty broken. Doesn't do what it's supposed to. So Netscape kind of has taken it, is a bit further along than this is. Well, yeah, so NetSurf is a bit more updated. Okay. And actually, there's one that I just remembered. So this one is Midori. Hi there. That didn't work. But Midori is one of those lightweight ones that's based on GTK. So it's kind of got the WebKit GTK, so it's not quite compatible with everything, I guess. But can we oh, new tab's over here. But it is dialed in with the other things that, as you can see, it's got cool little things. I have used this a little bit a while ago, back before they transitioned to GTK 3. And it was still pretty good back then. I used it for the occasional YouTube browsing. So it does have some privacy features, like some blocking and what all. But I want to say they're very rudimentary. So if we go into privacy, yeah, it's got the... You can implement the block list from like AdBlock Plus or EasyList. It's probably not going to be as intuitive as uBlock Origin, but it's still something. So right now, probably your best bet would be like the first few that I mentioned, or going with Qt Browser, which is still somewhat rudimentary, but still a bit more sophisticated than this would have. It does have other things that you can mess with and allows you to do proxy stuff. Search engine stuff is pretty set in stone, but yeah, that's Midori. And that's a bunch of web browsers that are Mimi alternatives to Firefox. And I might do another one with like other Chromium-based browsers and kind of some other more niche ones that way that are more keyboard-oriented. So if you want to support these videos or whatever I do, you can check out the links. I will have links to my other stuff posted down below, so you can check out the PeerTube instance, and there are support links there so that you can help keep stuff rolling. Thank you, PeerTube Trending. You are just the most beautiful thing on the planet. But yeah. Subscribe, star, PayPal, buy the merch that's on the donation link there on the website, and I will see you all later. Also, don't forget to join the Discord and scream at me there. I do have it bridged to some Matrix rooms, so I guess I should add the link to that. But yeah. And I do have a Guilded, technically, so I can include a link to that, so I'll have to update the links, copy pasta again. Anyway, this is the final goodbye. Thank you.